Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at a GURPS Traveler offering, one of the later ones in the GURPS line, Kamsii, the Pleasure Planet. This is a Planetary Survey 1. They did about 6 of these, and it's just to look at one planet in Traveler and how you would use it. And it's pretty system agnostic, even though it was published under GURPS. So I'm going to go take a look at the publication of this, what year it was out, and all that good stuff, and how you would use it in your campaign. So Kamsii, the Pleasure Planet, today on page 121. Kamsii, the Pleasure Planet. This is published in March of 2001 by Steve Jackson Games. It was written by Steve Jackson and the late, great Lauren Wiseman. This is a fun book. This is probably my favorite of this series, although a couple of the others are really good. But this one just gave an angle that I'd never thought about in running a traveler adventure. So the idea behind Kamsii is that it's basically a place you can go on vacation. The idea is that it's one big amusement park, an entire planet of it. You can pretty much play anything you want to play. If you want to ride a roller coaster into a canyon, you can. If you want to browse nature preserves, you can. If you want to reenact old Earth Rome, you can. A little bit of Westworld in there. They don't necessarily use robots, but they use people. But the idea is that you go to Kamsii for vacation, and that's pretty much all this planet does. This book is pretty system agnostic. I'm going to take a look at Kamsii itself. A nice planetary view. There's the down port right there. And then we take a look at the book itself. It goes ahead, it gives the introduction, how to use the book. It states right away that this is not made necessarily for GURPS Traveler or even necessarily for Traveler itself. And it's true. You could use this in virtually any gaming system, any space game that I've ever played. You could just plug this right in. The nice thing about Kamsii is it's in the core sector. So this was an early look at some of the core stuff. We didn't get a ton of stuff out of core, but we did get it here. And now with the recent release of the Third Imperium book by Mongoose, you get a much better look at core. So here we go, all the system data. This is done in GURPS Traveler format, but it's easy to translate. You can also find the information you need on the Traveler map. It's all right there. This is the history of how the royal family went through the rule of man. They were very much in the corner of the Soleimani. They were great followers of Emperor Cleon when he founded the Third Imperium. They were almost fanatic followers. They opposed the Villani at every chance, but then later they fell from grace. A little treason, a little plot to kill the emperor, and things go bad for the fam. Who knew, right? So, with the treason, I want to get the word in there. With the treason, the family falls on hard times. The only thing they're left holding is the planet Kamsii. And Kamsii is mineral poor, agricultural poor. At one time, they had thought of just turning the thing to improving some of the agriculture and turning it into the breadbasket for the Imperium. Then they had the idea of turning it over and making it one big resort. And here we have Kamsii today. You got the little kid with the little hat on, carrying the balloon. You get a little card when you come into the park, and this card opens your hotel room door, the mini bar, lets you on different rides, and also, by the way, tracks your movements in a way that any kind of totalitarian regime would absolutely love to have. But it's all in fun. It's also you enjoy your day at the park, or in most cases, week or month in the park. So people are happy to get it. Plus, then when you're done with it, you keep the card and it becomes a collectible. Here's my invoice of when I originally bought the thing. I used to toss them into my books. I still do. So I bought it, and I bought it the deck plan Empress Mara the same day, Empress Marava, from the old 3D House of Games over in Mokina, Illinois. If anybody knows that one, that used to be one of the places I DM'd. So here we go. It's a layout of the metropolitan areas and the government. The government itself is a corporate bureaucracy. Pretty much everybody that lives permanently on the planet works in some way for the Kamsii Corp. Or Kamsii Corps. hypothetical scenario of how they would handle an incident if there were to be an accident in the park, what they would do to mitigate it. The Kamsii card here is called out. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a lot I never really thought about with a resort or resort world. And then it can go into, there's a couple of adventure hooks in the back where it's the darker side of the park, the part that the public doesn't see when there's a situation that needs to be handled quietly. A lot of this, in reading it again for the first time in a few years, put me in mind of the first Jurassic World movie, where the park is going just fine, everybody's having a good time. Behind the scenes, you've got the folks dealing with the exhibits, the dinosaurs in that film, and what goes on there. So this could be adapted into something like that very easily. Most of the larger predators that were native to the planet are either controlled or eliminated. Hansen's bear is one of the few that they allow to be on the planet. Animal control, they try to keep the animals under control. They even go into a fun part here where they talk about having lice at one point that were very difficult to get rid of. So Mother Nature strikes back. Sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate, even with weather control. And then extrastellar relations. The Kamsii kids. Here we go, the Kamsii kids. It's the cartoon characters. And then we go to extrastellar relations. And this is how people see Kamsii from off-planet. And the answer is they are apolitical. They're just a place to go have fun. If they have political leanings, they do not tell you about it. There we go. And then we go to the characters. How would you make a character from Kamsii? Now, this doesn't go a ton into details of the actual character itself, just more like your life choices. Why you stayed with Kamsii if you're from the planet. Your parents worked for the corporation. Maybe you decide you don't want to stay on the planet. Why did you leave? Why didn't you become another corporate drone working for Kamsii? It's such a great company to work for. And the neat thing about this is, in this book, it is a good company to work for. They take good care of their employees. They don't abuse them because they want to maintain a very good reputation with the public. And if there are problems with the employees, then the public gets wind of it and people don't come to the park. And then a bunch of adventure hooks in Kamsii. Undercover escapades. You could be an industrial spy. That plays a big part in the various Jurassic Park movies. You could be a reporter. Eco-terrorism, because they're suppressing the animals. You could be a noble. You could be a bodyguard. Weapons are not allowed on Kamsii, period. So you've got to be a bodyguard, but you've got to just think with your fists in that regard. And then we come to an index of all the different tables and points of interest throughout the book. The book is 32 pages plus the cover. And these are all the worlds within Jump 6 of Kamsii. And that's in the core sector and then the Fornas sector. And then a nice little map layout of Kamsii and everything within Jump 6. And then a little plug for the old journal of the Traveler's Aid Society that used to be online as part of the GURPS Traveler Run. So all in all, a very good offering. Very well written, very well put together. GURPS always did top flight modules and adventures, in my opinion. And the writing is always good. The editing is always good. I recommend this completely. This is available from Far Future Enterprises as part of their line for GURPS. This is on the disc or the thumb drive that you can buy through Far Future Enterprises. I don't believe it's available on Drive-Thru-RPG. I didn't think that. I'm not sure it is. So anyway, that is GURPS Traveler Planetary Survey 1, Kamsii, the Pleasure Planet, by Steve Jackson and Lauren Wiseman. I recommend it completely. I think this could plug into any space game, and it could be put anywhere in the Traveler universe. If you don't want it in core, you want it behind the claw, you go ahead and use it, plunk it over there. So, recommend it highly. I hope you enjoy it, and if you like what you heard today, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time from page 121.